Hello, hello. Maybe. Good morning. Yeah, looks live. Looking live. Welcome, friends. Oh, this setup's weird. It's gonna sound terrible if I scooch it forward. I've done that before and I've like pulled the screen forward and then immediate regret because it sounds awful to you guys. So I'm not gonna do that. And instead, we'll just make do. I just like shifted, I'm just like really looking up to you guys. Maybe I'll just move back a little bit. Do the thing. This is like a little bit of a different setup. I'm still in the same corner of the apartment. But you guys just let me know. I feel like I'm further away from the screen, so just let me know if you need me to raise my voice, like to project more. I can make that happen. Let's set up our yoga mats. Sorry, Shabs. I'm scared. That's gonna be better, I think, right? That might actually make everything just washed out, but we have yet to see. You know what's so crazy is that it's been like my memory might not serve me quite right here, but I'm pretty sure that I started streaming the week after Thanksgiving. I'm not even pretty sure, I'm totally sure. Like, I know that that's true. And yeah. That's just weird. That means that was a year ago. And on the one hand, I feel like way more time than a year has passed. And on the other hand, I feel like it's only been a few months. I guess that's a pretty normal experience. I've seen a lot of people meme about it and write about it online about this past year, but it doesn't make it any less strange. There's a collective strangeness about it, which almost makes it weirder. Ethereal, good morning. Happy Sunday, happy 1 year stream anniversary. Forgot my watch, and then who knows, we could have gone for like 6 hours if I didn't have my watch telling me it's time to stop. Been in meditation for too long, everyone's legs are gonna fall off. So much has changed. Yeah. I was saying, like, it makes it weirder that we've all experienced it collectively. Even though people's experiences have differed, and obviously how we've processed has differed. This past year has just been, like, extra weird because everyone was going through it. You'd think it would make it less weird, but I'll never make that mistake again. I hope you guys all had a great week since last Sunday. If you do celebrate Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving, all that jazz, then Small Business Saturday, the other one, Black Friday, or whatever. I hope you all enjoyed it. I had a great week. Good morning, hey, cool sword. I had a great week, and things are just like ramping up here. Swissar, hello. I know Hey Cool Sword knows. I don't know if Ethereal, if you were here when I mentioned, but Daydream and I are moving back to the Northeast, like to Rhode Island. But we'll be in New York in December, like at some point, like late December, and then we'll be in Massachusetts in January. So that's the other thing about the stream. We'll talk about it at the end. We'll practice a bit. We'll talk about it at the end, like the future of this stream. But I just wanted to make sure I was here today. So anyway, what do we even do on this stream? We've just been talking and sipping tea. So we talk and sip tea, but also we practice connecting to breath and the present moment through meditation and yoga techniques. So it'll look like we start with a seated, grounded meditation. Good morning, Pentacle Feelings. Welcome in, welcome in. Seated, grounded meditation. I lead you through it. Don't worry, I won't leave you hanging. Some breath work, intention setting, and then we go into the movement. It'll be yoga poses, mostly probably that you recognize, maybe some new things, some lymphatic shaking, some joint resiliency, some functional strength training. More or less, it'll feel like a yoga class. War Bros, hello, welcome in, and then we'll come back down for a Shavasana, final relaxation, final meditation, and I'll play some Tibetan singing bowls for you, because my crystal singing bowls have gone on to a new teacher and healer to share with their community. So, any questions, comments, concerns, you just drop them in the chat and I'll answer before or after meditation. Yeah, so then also if you have anything that you specifically want to work on in your body or in your practice, you can also drop that in. I'll do my best to add it in, no promises. David Sports Guy, hello, welcome in. We're just about to sit down for meditation. So everything that I lead you through is an invitation. It's not a dance routine. It doesn't have to be at my pace. You can adjust accordingly to make it work for you. So do what's right for your body. Okay. So I'm just going to find a comfortable seated position. For me, that's sitting cross-legged with my hips just a little bit elevated. So I just bring my hips on top of a folded blanket or a pillow. And that just helps tilt your hips forward a bit, which is going to give you an easier time holding on to or maintaining your alignment of chest over hips, head over heart, like there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head towards the sky. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down, or palms up to give and receive energy if that's something that you feel you got to give today, a little extra energy. Eyes can close if that's comfortable for you. Thank you. If not, a soft gaze open is just fine. Let's start with 3 cleansing breaths in through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears, and an audible sigh, shoulders drop down. After your 3rd breath, return to a natural breath space, inhaling and exhaling through the nose if that's available. We'll take a moment here just to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. Just become present to yourself here in this moment. Here in this space. Begin to allow sounds into your awareness. Just noticing the sounds of your surroundings. Letting all sounds and all part of this moment, part of this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And feel the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. The weight of your hands on your lap. And we're going to begin to scan the body from head down towards toes. Like passing through an X-ray machine, just scanning down, checking in for any places of tightness or sensitivity. Any restlessness or fidgeting. When the mind wanders, bring it back to the body, continuing the scan. Using this information to inform your movement practice today. Take the messages your body has sent you and work into those spaces that call out for your attention. We'll shift the awareness from the body, Annamaya Kosha, to the energetic level, Pranamaya Kosha. Notice where you're at energetically in this moment from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed, 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. And shifting the awareness to your breath. No need to change it, just observe. Inhalations, exhalations, and whatever space in between. Just noticing the quality of the thoughts, the gentleness perhaps, shortness or depth. And bringing the awareness to the mind, Manomaya Kosha. For a moment, just allowing the mind to go free. Allow thoughts and feelings to arise and just observe them from a distance. Notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Are they a long, drawn-out storyline? Or quick flashes, fragments of ideas flashing through? Do they have a positive or a negative tilt to them? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. We'll bring the attention back down to the breath. This time actively expanding. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale lets something more go. Inhales fill belly with air, belly expands. Exhales bring belly button in towards spine, contracting. Inhales fill belly with air and ribs expand. Exhales release ribs, then belly. Inhale, filling belly, ribs, and chest with air, filling all the way up to the collarbones. Exhale releases chest, ribs, and belly. Continuing like this. If you're having trouble still learning how to isolate each body part, you can bring the hands to the body part as you are working on inhaling or exhaling that part. So we inhale from bottom to top. Exhale, top to bottom. Letting the breath draw out long and deep. This 3-part breath, Dirga Pranayam, helps build that relationship with the breath. It helps tone the inner deep breath muscles necessary to take a full deep breath. It can help calm us out of sympathetic fight or flight mode and into parasympathetic rest and digest mode. And your next exhale, just releasing any effort from the breath, returning to a natural pace. Perhaps your breath is affected from that exercise. Bring our hands to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra, no space between the fingers, and the thumbs press into the sternum. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice, your reason for showing up to the mat today, and the invitation is to set it in the present and positive tense, as if it's already happening to you. So it might sound something like, I flow through life with ease and grace. We'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. You are invited to chant along with me, of course. First, a cleansing breath. Allow your hands to release to your lap, chin drops towards chest. And on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin rolls down to chest, and left ear rolls towards left shoulder. Good morning, Evolve Yourself TV. Welcome in. Just letting your head roll side to side. Welcome, welcome. David Sports Guy. You meditate on a pillow as well? Yes, this is like a gift because I always just sat on top of a rolled up, not rolled up, but a folded up blanket I got from a reservation out in Oklahoma. But Daydream found this cute little pink pillow and thought of me. He got it from a yard sale. Well, yard sale, apartment sale. I mean, when you live in a city, there's not that many people with yards to sell stuff. The next time your head rolls through center, bring it up to neutral and we'll just roll the shoulders forward. And thank you, Ethereal, for explaining. Yes, I'm always happy to answer questions and concerns. But yeah, during meditation, I just have my eyes closed. It'd be really distracting to be reading chat like while I'm meditating or while I'm trying to lead meditation, and then I don't want to lead you guys off a cliff. I just roll the shoulders back, opening up the space in the chest. But please, you can always type in or leave your questions. Since I have my eyes closed, it's not distracting. Just know that I'll answer when we're back to a movement or eye open part of class. So we're just working to gently wake up the body from head to toe. Well, I got some neck stuff this week, so let's come to stillness in the shoulders. My neck stuff, I mean, I edited for like 15 hours on my computer and my posture was not so great during that. So we're gonna do neck rolls today. Those of you who know can get started, and otherwise I'll just demonstrate for you here. So I'm just turning to the side to show you, but chest stays up over the hips. Just the neck and shoulders are going to, no, just the neck and head are going to move here. So chin drops down towards chest, and then my nose, it's like it's reaching towards the floor, towards the wall in front, towards the sky above, and towards the wall behind. Then chin tucks back in. So I'm really trying to make a circle with my nose and get to the farthest edges of my range of motion. Keep breathing. It can be easy to forget to do that. And keep the movement slow and smooth. Imagine each vertebra in your neck moving freely and painlessly. Then we'll change directions. Head falls back, chin reaches up towards the sky, forward towards the wall in front, down towards the ground, and scoops in. Up towards the sky, forward towards the wall in front, down towards the ground, and scoop in. And last rotation, we'll bring it back to neutral. Alright, from here, we'll bring the index fingers to the end of the jaw, just below your ear. Still seated up nice and tall, bring the fingers maybe an inch away from the jaw. And we're just going to slide the head from left to right. So, notice, shoulders are not moving, just let them stay melted, soft away. And the head's not turning, so you're not nodding your head or shaking your head, no. You're sliding your head side to side. So if this is feeling really frustrating for you or dang near impossible, you just want to bring the fingers even closer, maybe a centimeter away, and just focus on that shift. So we're opening up these new patterns of movement in your neck, in your spine really, and undoing a bunch of tension that may have built up from the week. I know it did for me. You're looking down at a phone or at a screen. 3, 2, 1. All right. Just drop the ear side to side, head a little shake. We'll inhale, the arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, right hand releases down, left arm reaches over, side stretch. Opening up all these intercostal muscles, space between armpit and hip. I'm still trying to keep this left hip down to the ground. Inhale up through center. And exhale over to the left. Really reaching, arching for lateral stretch. Back up through center. Exhale right. This time when you exhale to the right side, let's just give big back strokes through this shoulder. So any clicking or cracking, we don't have to add a story to it, we're just noticing. So we just bring these smooth movements to our joints. We send the message to our bodies, from our bodies to our bodies to send synovial fluid, some lubrication for that joint. All right, let's bring it over to the other side. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then just big back strokes. So really, my idea is to open up the upper body, chest, shoulders, neck area today. But if there's a body part or a pose that you've been hoping to work on or see explained, you can drop it into chat, and I'll do my best to incorporate that as well. Oof. So there's a term that's like in sports science, it's called bilateral comparison, but I think it's really useful in yoga. It's like, oh, there's no comparisons in yoga, but I think actually comparing your own body to your own body in the moment is pretty useful. So you might notice your right shoulder clicks more than your left shoulder, or your left shoulder doesn't have quite as much range as your right shoulder. And it's not about your left shoulder being better or worse than your right shoulder. It's just something to notice about the balance of how your body is right now today. You back up through center. On the exhale, twist to the right. Left hand lands on right knee, right hand lands on the ground behind you. We twist the chest towards the side while the hips stay facing forward. Inhale back up through center. And exhale to the left. Following your breath into center, resetting, and out to twist. Imagine your spine like a spiral staircase. We're following the breath here. Once more to each side. Then we'll release the hands down through heart center. Fingers interlace, elbows come to touch or come close to one another. And we're just making figure eights with the wrist. Change directions. And just like you're shaking off water, nice and gentle, nothing crazy. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's wake up the lower body now, the lower legs. The lower legs, the legs at all. I don't know who has upper legs. Extend them out in front. If if you're sitting on a blanket or a pillow or both, like I am today. Oh. Spread and scrunch your toes. Roll out your ankles. Change directions. Bend in your knees, bringing them hips distance apart, and just drop the knees, or like mat's distance apart, further than hips distance apart. So when you drop them side to side, you want your knees to touch the ground or have the option to touch the ground. You don't want them landing on top of one another. It's creating like a lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Just waking the hips up here, nice and gentle. Next time the knees fall over to the right, bring the hands in close, or the right hand in close to the body. Left arm sweeps up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we twist back. Inhale, bring it forward, and then lift up onto the knees. Hips and chest rise. Left arm reaches back for a back bend, so you're going to feel a stretch on your hips, hip area, your left thigh. And exhaling, hips touch down. You can twist. Inhale. Up and lift, chest and hips rise. All right, go to the other side. We're just doing 3 repetitions. So, right arm reaches up, left hand's on the ground, like 6 inches, maybe a foot away from the left hip. Arm crosses in front of the chest to reach back behind you. And then inhaling, bring it back forward, arm rises, chest and hips rise. Exhale, hips touch down and twist. And last time. Inhaling, really reaching up through the hips, through the chest. And hips touch down. Bring the knees back over to the right. Hands come to frame the right knee. And we'll come into tabletop pose. In a little space. Better. So for tabletop, our hands are bring your hands below your shoulders, knees below hips. Inhaling, belly drops, hips and chest rise on an inhale. Exhale, rounding in the spine, chin tucks in towards chest, pressing the ground away like a Halloween cat for cat pose. Inhale, cow pose, belly drops, hips and chest rise. Hands are pressing down and back. Knees are pressing down and forward, like trying to scrunch the mat together to get a grip and deepen that arch. Exhale for cat pose, hands are pressing down and forward, knees are pressing down and back. I'm trying to stretch the mat apart to grip and deepen the rounding in the spine. So here we'll connect the breath with the movement, allowing the speed of your body to be informed by the length of your breath. So that most of this experience is in transition. Really just an either edge, either extreme of the postures, cat or cow pose, for that split moment, that pause between inhale and exhale, between exhale and inhale. And the next time you exhale into cat pose, squeeze all the air out of your lungs, pressing the ground away, complete exhalation. Return to neutral, take a deep breath in, side out. Inhale, right arm sweeps open towards the sky. Exhale, weaving the arm through. Inhale, arm sweeps open. Exhale, arm reaches through. Once more. Reach open. And exhale, weave through, this time landing on the side of the head and right shoulder. So I'm really reaching through as far as I can, pulling my left shoulder back, trying to stack my left shoulder over my right shoulder. It doesn't perfectly go over, but that's the direction I'm headed in, just to find the alignment for the posture. Hips stay up over the knees. Hips are up over the knees, so avoid the temptation to sit the hips down towards the feet. And this left hand can be right in front of the chest, right in front of the face, pressing the ground away to deepen the twist in the spine. Bottom right hand presses stronger or softer into the ground until you locate that nice sweet spot of a stretch in the right shoulder blade. You might feel in your trapezius muscle that are really it's your shoulder blade area. Other option is to bring your left hand up overhead or even to your lower back for a half bind. So from here, you could reach the hand further back until it's wrapped around your right thigh. And then with that grip, you pull the shoulder even further back. Either variation's just great. We can play with a little balance here today. Extending the left leg straight, keeping my toes on the ground to start. It's giving a little calf stretch by pressing back through the heel. And I point the toes. There's just like a little float there, and then it's like a slow levitation up of that leg. So momentum is not your friend here. If you swing your leg up, you'll probably land on your butt, which is fine. But you go nice and slow, like moving through honey. You'll have more control and better chance of staying in the posture. Also, continue breathing. Often when we attempt something difficult, we hold our breath, and that is not actually helping us. The pose ends when the breath ends, so just keep the breath going. So just really reaching this foot up and back, squeezing the glute muscles for that like foundation, and reaching back, and up. Okay, slowly, I'm just like pressing rewind and floating this foot down. Foot touches down, knee touches down, hand comes back in front of the chest, and right arm sweeps open and releases to the ground. Junior 2, hello, welcome in. So I'm just going to turn around so I can keep facing the screen, but you do what works for you in your space. Now it's the left arm that's, in tabletop pose. Yes, left arm sweeps open towards the sky. And exhale, it weaves through without landing at first. Inhale, arm sweeps open to the sky. Exhale, reach through. Inhale, sweep open. Exhale, reach through, this time landing side of the head and left arm onto the ground. So I'm pressing the back of this hand into the ground strongly to get a nice stretch in my upper back, in that left shoulder blade area. Right hand's pressing into the ground to deepen the twist in the spine by bringing the right shoulder over the left shoulder or just in that direction. Hips stay over knees, like a 90-degree angle, perpendicular to the ground. It's called thread the needle pose. So options to play with the arm placement. You can bring the arm up overhead to the lower back, sliding it down maybe to grab the inner left thigh. Or maybe you don't reach your thigh yet, but you can grab the hip crease. There's always more to go. There's always more options and variations. There's always something more quote-unquote advanced. But wherever you're at right now is just great. Let's play with that balance again. Extend the right leg straight. I'm keeping my toes on the ground at first. Just keeping all the points of contact possible. And then as I point the right toes, I just come to levitate. It's a little float off the ground. Just so I can feel the weight distribution of that lifting this foot off the ground creates. And then to play with balance a bit more, I just float this foot up. Nice and slow, and I keep breathing, even though it's super tempting to hold the breath. And I just imagine there's something pulling my foot up and back towards where the back wall meets the ceiling. Mindful not to go too far and fall over, but if you do, you're already like 80% on the ground. So the only thing that'll happen is that you'll just like roll onto your butt and it'll be fine. It won't really even hurt. I know, because I've fallen out of this pose like more times than I can even remember. So that's why I'm like nice and slow, guys. Just gonna go nice and slow. Rushing or kicking your way up there is a dicey, gambly game to play. Got one more deep breath here. Float this foot back down. Just flex it. Knee comes down. Hand returns below the shoulder or in front of the chest. And left arm sweeps open. Release left hand down. Okay. And toes tuck under. Fingers spread wide. And ascend the hips up and back for downward facing dog. So I'm creating like a triangle with your body. You can bend one knee and then the other, just pedaling out your heels. So we're waking up the backs of the legs. So the hips now are reaching up and back behind you towards where the back wall meets the ceiling. We're working on keeping a straight line or even a dip in the shoulders in that line from wrist to hips. So often people get like really tired quickly in this pose because they're here. So do you see how the shoulder breaks up the line from wrist to hips? We're working on opening up the shoulders to the point where you can have a straight line instead from wrist to hips, so this line is not interrupted. And okay, if you don't have a mirror or like a camera on you, which would be normal, this is bizarre, just bizarre times, but also grateful I can connect with you guys, you can feel it. Because either your shoulders are getting tired or your shoulders are feeling like they're being stretched out. So strength, flexibility. This takes strength to hold. This takes flexibility to get into. So yeah, just a little nuance there. So we're just heading in this direction. A way to think about it is like you want your chest to touch the floor. Like that's not actually what the pose is, your chest on the floor. But I think it's a good visual of the direction you're trying to bring your body into. The legs, if your heels touch the ground, cool. If they don't, it's all good. That's just also the direction of the body. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. And send the right leg up and back behind you. Three-legged dog. Bend in the knee. And then stack right hip over left hip. Like your foot's gonna touch your butt. Your knee's gonna touch the ceiling. And then exhaling tiger pose. Knee comes in towards nose, round in the spine like cat pose, like we practiced before. Lifting up onto the left tiptoes and bringing the shoulders up over the wrists. Footsteps up between the hands. Okay, So that was a lot. And if it takes more than one step, it's all good. You just want to bring your foot far enough forward that it is 90 degrees with the ground. Your knees at a 90-degree angle with the ground. Let's float the left foot down, point the toes. Just light on the fingertips, tented fingertips. Like runner's lunge. We'll press the back foot, the shoelace part of the left foot into the ground so hard that the knee lifts. And gently touches down. Knee lifts. Gently touches down. And once more. Hopefully you're feeling a bit of a stretch, or maybe a big stretch, on the hip flexor and thigh quadricep. It softens a little bit from that effort. Now, tuck the left toes under. Straighten out the knee. And we're coming up to a high lunge. You need names. Okay, can't understand what you're saying, so that's okay. We're going to come up to a high lunge. Hands can come onto the knees for a step, or you might work with a little momentum. I know, scandalous. We're always talking about not bringing momentum into this. And sweep the arms up. So I'm pressing back through my left heel. Hands can come onto hips just to square it out. Pulling my right hip back, left hip forward. I'm trying to keep the knee over the ankle. Arms can come up overhead, deep breath in. And on the exhale, bending in the elbows, pulling the shoulders back, pulling the shoulder blades together. It's almost like I'm trying to get your elbows to touch behind your spine. The cactus. Inhale, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, pulling the elbows back. The cactus. Once more. And then this time, the arms come up overhead. Drop the left heel down. Toes face the long side of the mat, and arms open up for warrior two. So now I'm opening up my hips instead of having them square. I'm pulling my left hip back. And my chest opens to the long side of the mat. Still, right knee's trying to find its way over the ankle. Straighten that leg out. Whew, that feels good. And I'm going to squeeze the muscles in this right thigh. So you can feel my knee lift from that effort, from that flex. Hands can come down onto the hips. I'm going to let this right hip drop down. So here it is level, dropping down. Like a little teacup. That movement. Spout reaches towards the front of the room. Short end of the mat. And then the hand comes down to the inner calf of the front leg. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. So I'm trying to create 180 degrees with my hands, or with my arms. And I'm really pressing this bottom hand strong into this bottom leg to help bring the left shoulder over the right shoulder. So here we are again, trying to stack body parts. Uttita Trikonasana, straight-legged triangle pose. Maybe you look down at your toes or at your bottom hand, or you look up towards the top hand. Anytime you're going to look up towards the ceiling, it's going to be a balance challenge because there's less solidity up there. Right? So you're breathing fully here, really getting a nice deep leg stretch. Bend in the front knee. Back to warrior two. Then reverse warrior, just going straight into it. Right arm sweeps over that side bend. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground, framing that front right foot. Right foot steps back to meet left foot. And then you have an option to come down just like a push-up. Or release knees, chin, chest down to the ground. Point the toes. and reach the arms back behind you. So option here, you might feel like your shoulders are open enough. I feel like mine are open enough, so I think if you've done this pose before, you kind of get the vibe. So option to keep the hands here, palms face down, or interlace the fingers at your lower back like you're holding your own hand. We're setting up for locust pose. And then bring the arms up and back. So shoulders rather up and back. As we inhale, we lift the chest and shoulders. Instead of bringing my hands towards the ceiling, I'm thinking about bringing my hands towards my heels, pressing my feet into the ground. Squeeze your glutes to really press your hips into the ground, and really lift the chest and shoulders. An option here to bring the legs up as well. We're breathing here, even in the discomfort of this pose, Shavasana. Alright, we'll gently release the feet, the head, the chest, and the arms. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Let's send it back to child's pose. Bending in the knees, allow a little space between the knees. And drop the hips down to the feet, chest, and head release down towards the ground. You can give a little forehead a bit of a massage, just giving the head a little nod, or rather a little shake no. Deep breath in through the nose, side out. Hands press into the ground, toes tuck under, hips press up high, downward facing dog. Sometimes I do that and I'm like, oh, there's another side. I didn't feel tired, but now that I rested, I feel tired. And I think it's just like, I don't think everyone's like that, but I think it's just something cool to kind of notice about yourself. Or I find like it was cool to notice about myself, like, oh, if I just keep going, like I won't even notice I'm tired until I rest. So like taking like small breaks throughout the day like doesn't work so great for me, but taking like a couple hours, like a big break in the middle of my work day works way better, and I don't need any 15-minute breaks. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's so much that we can learn about ourselves in a yoga class that we can kind of use that information in the rest of our lives. So I've had you here in downward facing dog for a moment now. So hopefully your hips are reaching up towards the sky, your heels are pressing down towards the ground. Maybe you're feeling more open in your arms. Either way, let's take a deep breath in, side out. The left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Bend in the knee and stack left hip over right hip, bringing my heel towards my glutes and knees towards the sky to the best of my ability. Deep breath in. Exhale, Tiger's pose. Rounding in the spine, chin tucks in towards chest, knee comes in towards nose. Come up onto the right tiptoes and bring the shoulders up over the wrists. Step the foot in between the hands. Nice. It's okay if it takes more than one step. And gently release the left knee down to the mat. Look for that perpendicular relationship of the shin with the ground, and point the right toes. Bringing the shoelace part onto the foot, light on the fingers. Sometimes I just need a reset because I'm dumping a bunch of weight to my wrists, and that's not necessary. Nice and light. Shoelace part of the foot presses strong into the ground and gently releases. Strong into the ground, so strong that the knee lifts. I should probably be more specific with that. And then gently releases. And we just got one more, unless this is your second because I didn't lead that properly. Then you just want 3 lifts and lowers of that right knee. Then the toes tuck under. Straighten the knee out, sending the heel back. And we'll bring it up to high lunge. Or you can use your knee to bring it up to high lunge. Hands come onto the hips. And just notice, press the left hip back. Bring the right hip forward. Squaring the hips. And arms are up overhead. Deep breath in here. You can look ahead of you. And on the exhale, bend the elbows. Shoulder blades pull together. Like you're trying to hold a pencil between them. And elbows come towards one another like they're going to touch. Inhale and arms reach up. Exhale, elbows bend. And pull back behind you. We got one more like this. Bring the arms up. And then drop the right heel, arms open up, parallel to the ground, and hips open up as well. In a turn so that I'm actually facing you. We keep the left hip, left knee over the ankle, arms are down, hips are open, and shoulders are open to the long side of the mat now. Extend the left leg straight. That feels really good. Looking forward to that moment. So hands on the hips, we're dropping left hip down. Or you can think about popping your right hip up. Either way. Little teapot. Left hand reaches forward, forward, forward towards the wall in front. And then release the arm down till the hand is pressing into the lower calf, into the calf. The right arm reaches up towards the sky for our Utthita Trikonasana, straight leg triangle pose. So we're looking for that 180 degrees with the arms, really pressing into that bottom leg to get the right shoulder back far enough to stack over the left shoulder, or working towards it. Strong in the legs. And you can look down towards the foot below, or up to the hand above. One side might be different than the other, so don't get too hung up. If you could look up on the other side and now you're having trouble on this side, you can work towards it, or you can just choose another head positioning. Remember, balance in the body doesn't necessarily mean treating the body symmetrically. So just because on one side something happened, we don't have to put pressure on it having to happen on the other side as well for us to find balance and more harmony within our actual bodies. Got one more deep breath here in our triangle pose. And bend in this front knee, this left knee, back to warrior two, straight into reverse warrior. Drop the right hand, left arm reaches up and over, side stretch. Then cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Send the left foot back to meet the right, and then you can push up, down, like chaturanga down, or release knees, chin, chest to the mat. Okay. And in here, we can go into a second round of Shavasana, or locust pose. Or for a challenge, you can come along with me for Danyarasana, floor bow. Bending in both knees and reaching back with the hands to grab tops of the feet. Notice if your knees are spread out to make this happen, and instead scoot them back in towards center line, like your knees are going to touch. Whether they do or they don't, it's just the direction that they're headed. Mouth, chin, or forehead come center. And on an inhale, chest and shoulders rise. And feet kick into the hands so hard that the thighs might even lift off the ground. So we're really pressing up with the feet and grabbing strong with the hands. Mindful not to necessarily crank your neck all the way back. This isn't so much about your neck, and instead it's really about your quads, your hip flexors, your shoulders. So we're kicking as hard as you can and still breathing strongly. If you're rocking back and forth, that's okay. From your breath, that means you're breathing, it's all good. Just got one more deep breath here. And then gently releasing the legs down, releasing the chest and arms down. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Hands press into the ground. Send it back through child's pose. We're just here for a stretch. And toes tuck under, hips press up high for downward facing dog. And then we're just walking the hands back, back, back. Thanks, Thea.
cereal. Okay, so from here we're just gonna roll it up. You can have bent knees for this. Just roll to stand. Just take your time. You don't want to come up too fast and get lightheaded. If you did, it's okay. Just taking your time to get here safely. Let's shake it out. So we're just gonna shake off everything that we just experienced by bringing a shake to the body. So lifting and dropping the heels, and every time your heels impact, just letting that reverberate. Or you can bring like a whole jump to it. If you have the energy to full jump, then do it. Like, I really recommend it. Like, anytime I'm feeling high energy and I can jump, I will go ahead and just like go all the way. So what's lymphatic shaking? Why are we doing it? What's happening? Okay, so we're shaking the whole body, nice and loose, no wrong, no right way to do it, no wrong way to do it. Because our lymphatic system requires movement for proper functioning. It drains out toxins in our body, and unlike the circulatory system that has a heart to pump it, the lymphatic system requires movement to keep those fluids going and flushed out. Also, psychologically, it's been proven to help move through and process things. If you think about like little kids when they're scared, they shake, or when dogs get in a fight or like a scuffle, like at the dog park, and then the fight gets broken up, what do? They shake it off, and they reset, and then they're like friends with the other dog that they just got in a fight with. So there's just like a lot of psychological and physical benefits to shaking, so I really like bringing it into my classes. And I think that all class we're doing like really specific poses and working towards the edge of our range of motion, improving our flexibility, and I just think this is like a really important way of balancing that out and just being like, yeah, but also we're just like jiggling, and that's also good for you. So just got another like 30 seconds of this or so. So when you feel like stopping, when I feel like stopping and just double time, we just go like even harder. I'm like, all right, final stretch, finish line is in the crosshairs. Just keep it going for 3, 2, 1. All right, take a moment here. Ooh, just feel those little tingles in your hands. All right, we're gonna go into breath of joy. Breath of joy is a breathing practice. It's about letting go. So it's 4 parts. Inhaling through the nose, arms sweep forward. You inhale just like 1/3 of your lung capacity. Inhaling through the nose, arms sweep out, another 1/3 of your lung capacity. And inhaling through your nose, arms sweep forward. Now you're at full lung capacity. Exhaling through the mouth and yelling, ha, arms throw back. So it goes in, ha. We'll do it together. We got about 10 rounds. And you just want to be like as loud as you can be. And then when your like neighbors ask you like what's going on, you just invite them next week. That's been like my entire marketing plan. So just let go of looking dumb. Nobody has a camera on you. And let's just go through it. So in, ha. In, ha. In, ha. 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 3 left. If you haven't joined in yet, now's your chance. Ha. Ha. Last one, make it count. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Feet shoulder distance apart, let your eyes close. Just take a moment here to arrive. Notice what has shifted, what has been created from that practice. Maybe increased heart rate, maybe some sweat. But what else shows up for you when you are invited to take up space, to be loud, to be slightly unhinged? Or what shows up as resistance from participating? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. Gently blink your eyes open. I take a sip of water, towel off some sweat that's maybe beaded up. Whatever does or does not show up for you is totally fine and honestly totally normal. Full range of human experience is totally normal. Okay. So we're gonna come down onto our mats. If you're there, you just stay there. And if you're not, you can come down with me. Good. Is that better? Yeah. So inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, hands down to the ground, knees bend. Deep, deep, deep. So deep. And we come down to seated. Bring the feet together and allow the knees to splay open. Creating a diamond in the legs. Bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana. Like butterfly pose, like little kids in camp. Hands can come to the feet, just give a little massage. It's not just like you're opening a book. Kind of like what I think about in this pose. So then we'll get a nice good grip on the ankles or shins to get tall in the spine. So just pull my shoulders back, take a deep breath in. And exhale, wave forward, belly, chest, head. Option here to bring the arms out in front and just drape over the lower legs. Over the legs. Or you can keep the grip on the ankles and press the elbows into the knees to give the hips a bit of a stretch. So I'm pulling the ankles in and pressing the elbows away. Not with brute strength or anything like that. Just a little bit goes a long way, in my experience. And instead of trying to get your forehead to your heels or something like that, it's always more like a nose to toes kind of situation. So you do want to keep length in the spine. And just allow your breathing to slow down here. And let your head hang. If that hurts your neck, you can keep a little lift to the head to avoid any unnecessary pain. Right, there's a discomfort in pressing into our edge of flexibility. But if you're experiencing pain and letting a body part hang, then we just want to avoid that because you're probably putting unnecessary pressure or weight on your joints. Now sit back up. Bring the knees together. Oh goodness, hello. Welcome readers. Hi yoga. Welcome in. Oh goodness, I don't even know how long ago this was, but I appreciate you. Hello, Hazard UK, Yogohana, Swiss, Conjure Inc., Quav. Welcome guys, how is your stream? Welcome in, welcome in. We're just coming out of a bound angle pose and heading into a boat pose. How is your stream? What did you guys do in your class? Hands come behind your knees. You can shift forward a bit. Belly presses up against the thighs. We're just going to shift back to a little float. So thighs float, like just in darkness. A little better. A little better. A little better. Here. Okay. Good, thank you. We did some breath work and yin yoga for hips and glutes. Oh, nice. Oh, it would have balanced out well if that my class we mostly did, in our class we mostly did chest and shoulders, like opening. So, like a full body experience between the two of us. Shoulder blades squeezed together. Maybe the hands release for a bit of a balance challenge. Urdhva Navasana, upward facing boat pose. Deep breath in. And the exhale, slow motion, touch down, full body stretch. You can reach the hands and the feet to all four corners of the mat. And then bend in the knees. We'll drop the knees over to the right. Stacking left hip over right hip. And left arm sweeps open like the letter T. And press that shoulder down. The gaze can look over the left shoulder, and the right hand can come to land on top of the left knee for our Supta Matsundrasana, our supine spinal twist. Yeah, thanks. So here we're just using gravity and breath to release into the posture. We've done like a lot of twisting in class today, and it was like active twisting. This is totally passive. It is totally just letting the spine relax into the twist. We'll bring the head back through center, the knees back through center, and gently release the knees over to the left. Stacking left hip over right hip, or stacking right hip over left hip. Left hand comes to land on top of the knee. And the right arm opens up like the letter T, pressing that shoulder down to the ground. Gaze can look over this shoulder. You see what works for your neck. We're really working to keep this right shoulder pressed down to the ground. Even if that means the knees don't touch or the knees don't touch the ground. This is our grounded point is through that shoulder. And bring the head back through center, bring the knees through center. And just notice, is there any last wiggle or movement or pose that your body's asking for? And move through it. It doesn't have to have a specific yoga name or anything like that. It might, that's cool. Or it might just be like a wiggle or a stretch. And that's all good too. So all class we tell our body what to do. And now we just ask back, is there anything left? Is there anything that went unaddressed or unpaid attention to? And just rectify that right now. Just go ahead and move through what's gonna work for you. Sometimes in the beginning when we ask our body what it's got to say, it sounds really quiet because we haven't quite figured out what that sounds like what voice are we even listening for. And that's cool too. You can just make it up. And eventually build that trust, that line of communication, and then often your body will constantly be telling you what it wishes it was doing. Thanks, friends. All right, so once you feel like you've gone through whatever last poses or movements are necessary for you to feel grounded in the class, extend your legs out straight down the length of the mat, bringing the feet at least a foot apart. Legs so relaxed, the feet naturally splay open. Shoulder blades tuck under, Support the chest and arms release down by the sides, palms face up. A symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the full benefits of your effort here today. Eyes can close if that's comfortable. Not a soft gaze towards the sky is just fine. If you know laying flat on your back like this in Shavasana brings pain to your lower back, just bend in your knees, bringing them to your feet to the far edges of the mat. Knock the knees together, lift, tuck, and lower the hips back down. And stay here in broken bridge pose. It just brings some extra space to the lower back. Or you can go through this meditation seated. Just however you practice is just fine. And conjure, definitely will check out the VOD to get the whole body workout. Yes, absolutely. And on my YouTube, the link is in like my bio or something like that. It's the last like 128 classes that we've done together. I just made them public for everybody. So Twitch doesn't keep my VODs, but YouTube does. So yeah, you have many to choose from. So wherever works for you. For Shavasana, the idea for Shavasana with Shavasana is all about integration. Everything that we just worked on. No? Yes. Like there's like so much light, but it's just like behind me. So we integrate all of the effort, all of the mental, emotional, and physical effort that we've been putting in. So sorry, you can highlight streams. I don't know what that means. No deletes after highlight. Oh. So sorry, I just need to do like I need a skill share. You need to make a skill share for Twitch that I can follow. Okay. So we begin Shavasana with a deep breath in and an audible sigh out. So let's do 3 of those. And allow the breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available. Inviting your exhalations to become longer and deeper than your inhalations. Invite space between top and bottom teeth. And allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. As all the muscles in the jaw and the lips relax. Nose and nostrils to relax, gently allowing air to pass through. Eyes rest heavy in their sockets. Eyelids just barely touching. And space between the eyebrows broadens as all the muscles in the forehead relax. Muscles surrounding the ears and the back of the head all rest. Neck and throat relax. Shoulders and shoulder blades melt away. Upper arms and elbows rest. Forearms and wrists relax.
palms, backs of the hands, knuckles, fingers, fingertips, fingernail beds, whole hands alive with vibration, whole hands alive with creative potential. Rest and integrate all that you practice. Upper back, middle and lower back. Relax. Chest and belly naturally rise and fall with the breath. Hips, glutes, pelvis. Rest heavy, supported by the ground below. Thighs and knees melt away. Calves, shins, and ankles relax. The heels, arches, toes, whole feet relax. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Notice if in your mind, if only for a moment, that inner dialogue quieted. Notice if in your breath there's ease. Notice if in your body the places of tension have found space. The places of restlessness have found peace. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Gently allow your inhalations to deepen as fingers begin to wiggle and toes begin to curl. Allow your awareness to raise towards the surface as head gently rocks side to side. Let that feeling of heaviness and weight be replaced with a feeling of openness and expansion as arms reach up overhead for a last full body stretch. The knees bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural, landing in a fetal position. You can use that bottom arm as a pillow as you land. Fully released and fully supported by the ground below you, bring to mind any intention or dedication you set for class today, or you might set an intention now. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. With eyes still closed or gently lowered, press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on a series of chest and shoulder opening postures. The first namaste is said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to the community that held this space. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me today. I hope you found something of value. I hope your day is better for having spent some time here with me, here with us today. Namaste Swiss, namaste ethereal. Thank you, Hi Yoga, for the raid, and everyone who came in a little later. I hope you still found some value in the singing bowls and just like those final couple poses. Thank you for the 1 year. Yeah, I can't believe it's been 1 year. It's so weird, but also good. And I was like mentioning it just like a little bit, but moving. I should say we're moving. Namaste, Ben. Namaste, hey, cool sword. We're moving. And Daydream too. And we need to make it conjuring. Pentacle feelings. It's wild how fast my face tenses up without me actively relaxing it. You're welcome for class. Yeah, the jaw thing. I'm like always like space between top and bottom teeth, space between top and bottom teeth. Or like the eyebrow furrow. That's one that I like when I taught classes not in real life. This is real life too, but like in live. When I taught live action classes, people would like furrow their eyebrows a lot. Like, bring some space here. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. How was that? How was class for everybody? How's everyone feeling? I feel good. I didn't really know. I didn't really have a plan for class today. I was just like, I'm just gonna roll through what I think is gonna feel good. And if people had things they could have dropped it in for suggestions, but I was just feeling so like hunched over from my life being just like really editing heavy this week. So felt like neck and shoulder stuff and like twisting. Yeah. So next week. I don't want to, I am moving on December 7th. I'm going to be, it was great for me. I'm always ready for chest opening. Yes, I love it. So we're driving back across country in our friend's trailer, like camper van. So I don't know if I'll be here next week. And then I kind of like know that I won't be here the week after that. So like I am just like, I don't want to say this is our last stream for the year because that just sounds like really scary to say that. But I'm just gonna be like on the road at other people's like houses for the next like month and a half slash like national parks and stuff. Yeah, so we're moving to Rhode Island, but first we're stopping in New York, and then we're going to be in Massachusetts, and then by February, the goal is to have our own place. So, yeah. It all kind of happened kind of quickly. We basically got, like, asked really nicely to leave by our landlords because they're renovating so that they can sell it, our condo. Place. And I don't really want to buy like a $400 $400,000, 700 square foot apartment condo. You know, because I casually have $400,000 lying around anyway. But I'm just like, no, I don't think that's like that's not like in my storyline. So I looked at like some other apartments in the area, and I'm just like, you know, we decided, Daydream and I decided, like, it was our plan to like move back to the East Coast anyway. So maybe this is just a sign that now is the time. And yeah, so it's all happening way faster. Like, we were planning on like moving back in September of next year. But since it's December, we would be here for another year until December. So either way, we'd be moving back in the winter. It's just inconvenient either way. So yeah, we're moving back like December 7th. Yeah, but I'll have like updates and stuff on Instagram, or you guys can message me there, or Facebook. I'll try to keep my little Twitch, like the little channel info, updated. Please come visit us in Washington whenever you want to visit the West Coast, but that's exciting. Sometimes things just gotta happen. We don't expect it, but it's in the best way possible. Thank you. Yes, I don't like the whole, like, I don't do regrets. Like, that's not my jam. However, like, everyone's like, so in the past couple days and like maybe a week or so, I've been telling people like, yeah, we're moving, and everyone's like, oh, like, what's the last thing, like, what did you not get to do in California? Like, what did you want to do that you didn't get to do before you moved? And I'm like, nothing. Like, I literally did all the things, but like all the things that I wish I had done while living out here for the past like 4 years is like see the Pacific Northwest. Like, I didn't get to go see the Redwoods or Sequoia or Yosemite or Portland or Seattle or like any of that. Because we just haven't had a car at all this entire, like, these, has it been 4 years? It's 3.5 years. We just haven't. So yeah. So anyway, so I didn't get to do that. So we'll be back because this is an entire corner of the map that I just haven't been to, and that is unacceptable. So I will definitely take you up on that offer. Tentacle Feelings, thank you. And thank you, Hey, a Cool Sword. Yeah. I'm excited to see you in real life, though. I'm excited to see like all my friends and family in real life. But yeah, so I know it's like, I don't know, that's not like a channel update like I want to hear on like a class that I like going to. Like, hey, I don't know when I'll be back. Maybe not till next year. But I just want to be honest with you guys, and like if I do hop on and teach a class, like that's what I'll be trying to. Remember the time I streamed from like a log cabin up in Weed, California? And the time that I was in, what's it called, in Chico and Lake Tahoe and all these other like crazy places that I've streamed from. So like, I know I can make it happen. I just need internet. So, but I don't want to make promises that I can't keep, because ultimately that just makes me feel even worse. And I don't like feeling bad. I don't mind feeling uncomfortable. Obviously, I'm a yoga teacher. I don't really feel bad. That's lame. So, anyway. Oh, geez. Who is online right now? Yeah, I'll have to see you in December. I'm off the last 2 weeks, so let me go. Dope. Okay. Cool. We'll definitely coordinate. I just need to make it to the East Coast. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, yeah, we're going in a camper van that's older than I am, and I'm 30, so you know, it's gonna be an adventure. It's gonna be an adventure. All right, we need to raid somebody, but I'm not signed into Twitch. So, oh, I'm signed in on my computer. On my phone. Swiss, who's on here? Oh, you're welcome, Evolve Yourself TV. Thank you for being here. Panzulu is doing yoga. Great. So I'm gonna try and do it from my phone. I can do this. So it's /raid space. Okay, I'm gonna spell this right. Spell this correctly. Ponzulu. Go. Woohoo! It says this channel is intended for mature audiences. I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie, but also We're just here for the ride. Just close your eyes and like X out if it's something terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I trust Swiss. I really do. I trust that Panzu is not about to get me canceled get me banned for reading into him. Thanks everyone. Pentacle Feelings, Hey Cool Sword, Swiss, Ethereal for being my knight in shining armor and banning all the creeps. Like literally they have like the best people on. I feel like the best people show up to my streams and I'm so grateful. And then every once in a while, like at least like 1 or 2 a day are like just like not good people. And Ethereal's here to just be like, no, you're uninvited from the club. Get out of the treehouse. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you guys for being dope. So yeah. I can't rush it because it's on my phone, so we've got another like 5 seconds together. Oh yeah, duh. You can check out my recordings of class on my YouTube channel. I mentioned that, and I'll be uploading this by the end of the day. And I'll see you in other people's Twitch channels. All right, I love you guys. Shirtless stream emoji.